Hey, viewers and listeners. We are live and welcome to the Seven Cities Shoptalk Sports Show, broadcasting to you from the beautiful state of Virginia to everyone all over the world. I am your host, Big Law Lawrence Johnson, and we got a really good jam-packed show for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening with the spring game, get a little bit of a fallout, get some personalities on here to talk about what they are expecting from this team. We'll talk a little bit about the basketball team, and also got my girl Kamara coming back, and we'll talk about them as well. But before we get started, we want to thank you for joining us. Another episode of our brand of dysfunctional camaraderie. And as of now, this shop is open. And as of right now, you see I got one of my co-hosts here. Got AB in the building. How you doing, AB?
I'm good. Really struggling today with some allergies, and it's cold. I don't like it. They forgot to turn the heat on outside, so I'm coming to you the bed so that I can actually watch my team play as well. So
okay, all right. Yeah, we may have a few others jump in here as well. Some other Seven City Shop Talk Sports Show host. But one thing about in the off season here, we're kind of gonna get, and I say off season because it's the off season for football. But we're gonna kind of get into what we saw or what I saw at the spring game and kind of get some of your personalities. For those that are in the chat, go ahead, put some notes in or put in some comments. We'll definitely respond and also see if we can chop it up a little bit with you and hear some of your opinions as well. But like I said before, this shop is open. So, AB, how was your weekend?
it was good. I spent some time with my best friend and her little ones, so we were able to kind of relax, and we grilled out a little bit and just cooked back and enjoyed the weekend.
Oh yeah, enjoy the weekend. So, being that it's cold, that is cool with air, has it did it surprise you that this cool air has hit like it has?
Yeah, I was not prepared. Not prepared at all.
Yeah, me neither. I was really ready for this summer season and ready for this everything to kick off, but looks like it's gonna come back in a little bit. But this may be, just the last bit of spring that we'll get to enjoy for those who kind of like it being a little cool at night, warm during the day. But I can tell you one thing that was heating up this Saturday was UVA spring game, and what I saw. Now, for all the viewers and listeners out there, did you guys have an opportunity to see the spring game at all? What's going on, Peggy? Peggy in the chat, one of my loyal listeners, viewers. She says, I think basketball is having trouble getting big recruits because no one want to play part-time. Listen, look at Peggy dropping jewels again. One of my most you're one of the most persons on my show who really know what's what. You have a keen sense, have your finger on the pulse of what's going on with Virginia sports, man. You are always on it, Peggy, and that's a great meeting. I got one of my other hosts jumping in here. I got Ed in the building. Let me go ahead and bring Ed to the stage. What's going on, Ed?
Hello.
Thank you for jumping on, man. Yeah, we're just talking about, the spring game, getting ready to get started, getting everything going here. Did you get a chance to? You didn't make it to the spring game, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay, all right. So what we'll do is we'll talk about what we have seen or heard, and I guess I can start. Well, before we even do that, how was your weekend, Ed? Let's talk about your weekend.
It was okay. It was a little frantic, a little hectic, but wouldn't have it any other way, I guess.
Right. Like I had asked AB earlier, how's this weather hitting you? How you dealing with
it? What time is it? It's Virginia. I think this. I've kind of lost track. Is this fall spring number 2 or number 3?
This is probably number 3.
Is this 3?
And this may be the last
It feels like
bit
three.
of it.
I can
This
tell
may
you
be
that.
the last bit of it we get
Oh
until
my, it's
the
nuts. I was talking to my neighbor this afternoon, and we were saying we're used to layering. You take a jacket and maybe you a sweatshirt or something like that, but you got to take a change of clothes anymore.
yeah,
I mean,
whole
it's and shoes.
whole outfit, whole shoes. Yeah, yeah.
You leave with the shorts and the flip flops, and you're gonna freeze your hoo ha off.
Right, right. So yeah, let's
That's HOO, by the way, in case anybody was
hoo ha.
who
So
get it.
let's
See
go.
what I did there?
Yes, marvelously.
Mm.
So let's get into the spring game.
You all right, man?
No,
You,
let me let that slap out. That was pretty funny. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the spring game.
I
Of course, I was there, and how about I let you guys ask me questions, because they did not televise it, and
was a little disappointed with that, to be
well,
honest.
I don't think any ACC squads televised their spring games. Honestly, outside of the mistake or the happening with the scoreboard, I don't think any of the games were televised
Scoreboard?
in the ACC. Yeah.
Oh, you mean when Amy smacked into the scoreboard down at 10?
Yeah, poor Amy.
I hope she's all right. She says she is, but
I think
her.
she's okay. I think she's okay.
She said she was going to the vet, get checked out.
Oh God. Let me come to you, AB. Ask me some questions. Go ahead and fire away. Kind of give me some questions or what you were looking for, or some things that you had some questions about when we're talking about the football team.
So number one would be, where do you, from the spring game, what do you think is our strong suit? Like, what was the strongest thing you saw from us on Saturday?
All right. The strongest thing that I saw from the spring game was the running back room. The running back room is absolutely loaded. You got Jaquil Middlebrooks. You have Peyton Lewis. You're gonna have Noah back. You had Zay out there, and you have Xavier Brown coming back. And then you also have Solomon Beebe. So you have a total of 6 solid running backs in the backfield. All of them have had starter minutes at one time or another in their career. The one guy who I really liked to watch and saw him have a great break. I think he had like a 45-yard run. Crazy thing about it is you never knew that he got caught by, well, when I say caught, meaning he was starting to pull away from Spencer K-Mac. Spencer K-Mac can run. I'm going to tell you that right now. But Peyton Lewis broke and got on his horse, and K-Mac had him at an angle, and Peyton almost pulled away for the touchdown, but it was a 45-yard run. And I saw what I had to see when it came to Peyton. Peyton Lewis is a little bit of a straight-up runner, but he's a big kid. He's fast. He's strong. Once he got through the line, I felt like he should have took it all the way, but also Spencer is no joke as well. And he had a great angle on him. But the running backs look good. You had running backs catching the ball out of the backfield, which whenever this team caught the ball out of the backfield, they were really effective in addition to running the ball the way that they run the ball. Now, the running back room still needs to get a little healthier, because it still needs Xavier and Noah to get there, but they're going to have no problem. With running the ball this year, or having production from the running back room. Let me come to you, Ed. Next question. I'll come back to you, AB. We'll alternate.
What did you see that I'll play I'll play Virginia fan here. What caused you the most concern?
What caused me the most concern? The receiver room caused
How so?
me the most concern. I'm still trying to figure out who's going to be like the go-to number one. And this was a spring game, so it's really hard to figure that out right now. But there's room for a lot of players in that receiver room to step up.
Twitty is back this year, yes?
Yes. But he's
Okay.
well, he's tight end.
Yeah.
He's an animal, and I think he's going to be
He's not fair.
absolutely. He's going to be great.
That
man.
kid's a cheat code.
Yeah, he's great. Having somebody that big and that athletic, running down the seam, and he has wide receiver skill because that's where he started out as a wide receiver before he, put on the weight to play tight end. But the wide receiver room, I'm very, very, I'm not gonna say concerned, but I'm very curious at what they're gonna do. I mean, you do have Cam Courtney there. You do have,
Okay, so he's
younger
back.
guys come back. Yeah. But there's some new guys that are there, but I don't see that one
Nobody really stood out.
Wide receivers, you have these guys who like, oh, that's the man, or that's the go-to person, the go-to man they're gonna go to when times are tough. They can beat anybody on the other team, no matter what, based off of their skill set. I just didn't see that. Now I've seen some guys make some plays. A young man from Kent State. I've seen some guys get some explosive plays here and there, but I'm just not confident right yet in who's going to be the man on that in that receiver room. Let me come to you, AB.
Who is your standout player? I know you kind of talked about a bunch, but who do you think is going to be our standout player, and who did you think looked better at quarterback?
Good question. Standout player. I think Dakota can really be special in the way that they're using him. They had him running some plays where he's, you have flow to the right, he's cutting back towards the left. It's kind of like a stretch. Some of these stretch plays where the tight end goes against the grain, goes against the flow of the offense, and he's breaking out to the left, and he's getting wide open because he has, the quickness and the ability to get out there. But Dakota Twitty looks like he's going to be really special, man. Of course, he was got injured early in the season last year, but he was a huge difference maker having him out there. And I think our tight end room got John Rogers, another young tight end who could actually run. We got a little taste of him at this, later in the season. He's a great, has the ability to be a good catch and run tight end. But I think Dakota Twitty really stood out to me. I think he's one of those guys where no matter what the quarterback is, no matter who's at running back, that kid is a mismatch on the field right now. Also, I said Peyton. I think Peyton is a special talent. I think once the offensive line was still working on getting their rhythm together and still working on dealing with the defense they had seen all spring. So the defense was pretty much ready for all of them. As far as I'm not gonna say knowing the plays, but have an idea of how to play against the offense. You always have to kind of put that into the equation as well when we're talking about how good an offense looks and how good a defense looks. But and what was your second question?
Who did you like at quarterback?
Quarterback, I had to put Prabula in there. One thing about Prabula, the boy got some wheels. He's got some real wheels. I did not know how fast he was until I seen him live. The boy got some wheels. I mean, they had put, the defense did a great job of shutting down everything deep and short. It was more or less, you can take off or point the guy down the field. He pointed one of the guys down the field and he took off. And I was very surprised. He got 20 yards so fast. And then, like one thing Kitchen said, Des Kitchen said about him, he said, well, we know that he has great wheels. He said, we want to get an idea and see what he looks like, in the pocket. And I think that I'm not going to say that'll be a struggle for him or it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be something that he's going to have to continue to work on. Of course, he was a starting quarterback at Missouri. So, he had a good team around him and they won 8 or 9 games out there. So I think that he's okay. Like he looked like he had some touch on some of his balls, especially one of the completions to Twitty. Just got the ball out nice and easy. It looked like he made the short stuff anyway, some real catchable balls. And as far as Eli Holstein, the backup or perceived backup, he has some moments too. He may be a little bit better, maybe a little bit better passer. I'm going to have to see that a little bit more, come the fall time or fall practice. Probably Beulah is dangerous, with his feet. I saw that firsthand. And, I'm not saying that, remember how Chandler would change the game with his feet. I think they definitely wanted to go with, and Holstein can run a little bit as well. They wanted to definitely go with the quarterback with some dual threat properties to really maximize this offense. Good job. Hey, let me come to you, Ed. I got you.
All right.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Oh. There you go,
Better?
buddy. Yep.
Okay.
You got it.
From what I'm hearing, much of what you're not saying is what you're saying. Do you think maybe we dodged a bullet in the bowl game?
When you say dodge the bullet, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, as far as not getting Missouri at their best. Prbilla didn't, whatever the kid's name is. God, I guess I got till fall to figure out how to pronounce it.
Just call him Bo. Just Bo.
Okay, Bo. Yeah, I like Bo. Bo works.
Yeah.
Bo I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like they were kind of not limited, but we didn't have to. You didn't have to account for him.
I think no, we didn't have to account for him. I think UVA still would have won that game. I think that for what Coach Rudzik does, what Coach Rudd does with that defense, with quarterbacks who are not your traditional or guys who have that sit in the pocket, stand in the pocket, throw darts mentality, and have seen a lot of that, that's where I think you can get to Coach Rudzik's defense a little bit. We have somebody who's used to seeing a lot of looks in the passing game. I think Bo would have probably struggled some against what
this is a different look.
Rudd did. Now, and this defense had 5 picks over the whole day, and I think 1 or 2 pick sixes on top of it. Or 1 pick six for sure, maybe 2.
That's the old spring game conundrum, isn't it? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I can't tell.
I like this as well. I like how they did the scoring on the defensive end, on the defensive side.
It's where the defense won. How'd they do that?
Okay, this is how it went. It was like, and I should have had it here with me, but if the defense got a 3 and out, they got a point. If the defense got a turnover on downs, they got like a touchdown. They got like 6 points. Yeah, they got them. Yeah, they made them punt. A turnover is 6 points. It was a whole bunch of like things that a defense gets kudos for that they usually don't. get kudos for, for what a defense does. So if a defense is dominant, they can score points like an offense can.
Yeah.
It was great. I
Cool.
loved it. I don't know. Some of the guys.
You weren't going to see a whole lot at the spring games. Then because a game like that, Bo is Bo is better when the play starts to break down.
Yeah,
it sounds like. And
or even if they had
typically these scrimmage things get blown dead whenever the play starts to break down.
Right, and they had 5 or so sacks as well on the quarterback. So that was a welcome sight as well. AB, let me come to you again. Ask me something else about the game.
How disappointed were you to see the outcome? Which, I mean, obviously, I know that I wasn't able to make it, but outside of that, it looks like a whole lot of other people weren't able to make it as well. What did you think about that?
That was I actually had a few conversations about that with some of the media folks that are there with me. That was highly disappointing, especially earlier on. We're kind of sitting there, we're like, all right, how many teams are on the grounds right now? So you had the lacrosse game going on, you had the baseball game going on, and I'm surprised none of those folks migrated. Enough of those guys migrated over. The fans that were in there were actually real football fans. And I'm surprised, like I said, I didn't see more fans migrate over from some of the other sports. And it was disappointing to see that the stands weren't more full, especially coming off of the most successful season that they had ever had from a pure win standpoint. They won 11 games,
But just as a counterpoint, they didn't. This thing kind of snuck up on me. My wife said, "Are you going to the spring game?" I said, "No, it's next week." No, it's this. Well, I guess I'm not going then. But they didn't really promote it. They didn't. Yeah, you had lacrosse playing. Yeah, you had baseball playing. But I think if you're maybe a little more flexible with your scheduling, your timing, and maybe get a little creative as far as I don't know, running a shuttle from the dish over to Scott Stadium, or something to help people get there, or maybe give them a reason to go there.
Sure.
Promote it a little bit.
Sure, I can see some of that.
I mean,
see some of that.
I would bet that there's. I remember from my marketing classes that McDonald's had a statistic that was like 80 or 90% of the people who did not buy an apple pie did not do so because they were not asked.
Yeah.
So, it's yes, fans need to show up and show out, but that's gonna take a little while for Virginia to build up, I think. The 11-win season was great, but football, with the exception of the 90s and that like 5 years plus or minus of the 90s, football really has not been a priority for anybody. We're sort of hearkening back to the old days of football is just something we do till basketball season kicks in.
I don't know.
I'm thinking it's not an event, so you're going to get the diehard fans, but that's about it.
Okay, I'll give you this.
You're not going to get the casual fan, and if you don't give the casual fan a reason to go,
it's not a diehard game in the spring.
No, it's not.
Like it is in the South. Like in the South, you saw Alabama's A-Day. They call it A-Day. Their spring game is absolutely loaded. Yep. Stands are loaded with people. Now,
those people poison trees. It's not. They're not right.
Right.
So I mean, it's you're never going to have that, well, of course, I said they never pay players, so what do I know? But I think you're a long ways off from that kind of diehard tailgating at the drop of a hat fan base. You may not ever get that here.
I don't know. I'm just thinking. I think it can get there. It's just
it's going to take time.
It is going to take a little time.
And they're going to have to prime the pump a little bit.
But I would like to have seen way more people than I saw there this Saturday. And, that kind of is what it is. Let me come back to UAB. What other question did you have?
All questioned out for the moment.
All right. And let me come to you. Oh, go ahead.
I didn't have anything else.
All right. Let me come to you, Ed. What question did you have?
Trying to think. You talked about the offensive line. You talked about the running backs.
This is what I can say. How about I talk about the defensive line?
All right.
The defensive line was, I like how they looked, especially in the beginning. They were very stout. Another thing about the defense, keep in mind, we had a lot of guys that were out. Maddox was out. You had Cam Robinson's out.
Yeah.
You had Ethan Mentor was out. So you had about 4 or 5 starters that were out.
If Cam was out there, I was going to be at the football offices in the morning because why? Why does he need to be out there?
Right. Then you had, but the defensive ends they brought in, those guys. I mean, those guys edge setters, man. They were battling against that offense, that experienced offensive line, who I feel is going to be the strength of the team. So if we're looking at this team in the fall and we're like, all right, who are we going to lean on? Who's going to be, what is the defense going to be afraid of, or they have to truly account for? It's going to be, I think we can have a dominant offensive line. But the defensive line did a great job of battling. They really did. I thought they did a great job of fighting against that superior or that offensive line that has been in the system. And like I say, we had a lot of new guys come in, and I felt like it was a game where when the fall comes and then you put all the other parts back in, the linebackers, it could be something more special than it was this past season.
Was it more about evaluating guys, you think?
Ain't no doubt about it. We had a lot of young guys get time as well.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah,
of course, it really would be nice if he got some time between now and the game time. But if
that's right.
If what is it? If wishes and candy and nuts were, never mind. My train of thought derailed. Ifs and buts. Ideally, you'd like the backups to get some time, but if the backups are getting time, is that why is that? So, I've been a Virginia fan long enough. I can find the hole in that.
Right. So let's talk about the the schedule on a Friday. They just also last week made the announcement that that Norfolk State game is going to be on a Friday. Let me come to you, AB.
Really?
What do you think about that? Yeah, they moved the game from a Saturday to a Friday. What's
the point? I mean, that's what I wondered. Like, it's not a big game. I mean, the only thing that I can think of is that they wanted to try to see if we could get more fans in the stadium for the first game. Because honestly, I have no idea. It didn't make sense to me. I mean, I know there's a lot of guys on the Norfolk State team that went to UVA. But I mean, that isn't going to make a difference in the day that they play. So, I mean, I don't really like it, but it is what it is. I mean, I can't fix it. I didn't make that decision, but
you think maybe it's a scheduling thing?
I mean, I don't know what the point. What is this?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. One of the things I've heard Jackie say this. I've heard some of the other gurus say that part of the problem they have is most high schools play on a Friday night, and so it's hard when you have those Friday games. It's hard to get the kids to come for their visits. I was just wondering if maybe that was a weekend where high schools either weren't playing or a lot of high schools weren't playing, something like that.
I don't know. My theory on it is I think because I think they feel like the Norfolk State game is not going to be heavily attended. I think they kind of wanted to get that game out of the way and get it, played.
Behind them.
So behind them, the conference meeting, so that they can get maybe some more appealing games. Because this is strictly
Who's the game after that.
Strictly local. Well, I'm not sure exactly, but I think that this game was moved because for Saturday they wanted to put some more bigger,
When do we go to Brazil?
That's before this game. That's before Norfolk State.
So you would want to move it up, I wouldn't think.
Mm-hmm.
I would think maybe if the Brazil game was after, it gives you an extra travel day or something like that. But no, that's not it.
No, it's not that. Yeah, but yeah, I was just curious, myself. But I think maybe it has something to do with they wanted to get some more, games that could possibly have more viewership on Saturday. Because Saturday definitely is a big viewership day. And I don't think they feel like Norfolk State and Virginia was going to get a lot of viewership outside of our little, 757, 804 bubble, 434 bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably stream that game and be just fine.
Right.
Because you're going to have two hubs of interest predominantly, and after that, it's going to be very much a hit or a miss kind of a thing.
Mostly miss because
it's UVA and Norfolk State. I mean, it's just
the thing to do is I guess what we'd have to do is go back and look at the schedule for that first week of the ACC and see who's playing who. And then that'll probably give us a better idea.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of this smacks of the chess master.
Right.
We're playing checkers and he's playing chess.
Ain't no doubt about it. For something like that, I think it's definitely something like
there's
that.
There's a reason for it, but maybe we're just not smart enough to figure it out.
Right. Well, you may have a point, but I think that's what it is in my opinion. So let's transition into the basketball program. So, AB, let me ask you, do you think that the reasons for not having as many recruits commit to UVA, because if you look around, you see a lot of players going to different schools. You notice that UVA, and Peggy may have hit it right on the head, but what is your opinion, based off of what UVA has done? Now, they've done great with retention, which a lot of folks say that is the most important thing, is retaining your kids. But what's your opinion on not having as many big names or players come through the portal coming to UVA?
I mean, I think she's definitely spot on with what she said. I mean, we already have been established. A lot of people that are looking in the portal right now are looking for a home that they can be the top dog. They want to be the best man on campus. And at this rate, we already have that established. So why come to Virginia? Mm-hmm. And I mean, what they don't know is that we do. I mean, you got to have a bench. You got to have a strong bench to be able to do anything. So I hate that might be the deciding factor, but at the same time, from a kid standpoint, I get it. I understand 100%.
Right.
Doesn't mean I like it, but I get it. Can't be mad at for wanting an opportunity.
Yeah, I kind of see some of that. I think, could it be, that there's some players that are, big game hunting, and UVA has a lot of their funds allocated, to their roster, and I guess whoever doesn't get picked up, may be the ones that have to kind of go through goodness to get in where you fit in. But go ahead. Ed.
No, I was just thinking, it's sort of like having three really good quarterbacks. Um, in this day and age, you really do have to recruit your own locker room. So I'm sure their first, second, and third priorities was locking down the kids that were thinking of transferring. So, but yeah, AB's right. You most schools run 7, maybe 8 deep on the bench. If any last year's any indication, you need 9 or 10. 10 wouldn't be a bad thing because you can keep people fresh. I'm sure that Coach Odom has a plan. It could be that with your top 7 coming back, maybe you kind of sit back and see if somebody falls to you.
Yeah. So somebody may shake out of the trees, and
we're not in desperate circumstances. It may be just kind of a see who falls to us, see who, maybe somebody decommits, maybe somebody reclasses.
That is true. That's another. You're very right about that.
I mean, I think we're in a good spot. I mean, it's a concern. Yes. Am I panicking? Yeah.
Nah, not right now.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I'll panic in August if we still haven't signed anybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, we still got our roster. We got a lot of our kids who could come back. They did come back. So we got to start in 5, honestly. We have a starting 5 ready to go. But yeah, so we'll just keep keep a close eye on that, and kind of see how that goes with the basketball team. Shout out to the basketball program. Shout out to my girl Kamara, coming back. We didn't make a statement about that.
Scare everybody to death.
You ain't lying. Well, it was protected.
I was depressed. I don't mind saying it. I was more than a little bit depressed because I really enjoyed watching her grow and develop.
She had to protect herself.
Yes, I got it. I completely understood, and it sounded like she had a very short list, and she realized that this is just a better overall opportunity.
Mm-hmm. I
mean, she's the queen of Charlottesville.
Well, she is. There ain't no doubt she is the queen of Charlottesville.
I mean, she could run for office if she wants to.
Right. But
I might move to town just so I can vote for her.
Well, that was that was good to see her come back. Then Olivia McGee, and you had
Brianna Hurd's coming back too.
Yeah, you got a couple of ladies that are coming back now. So, I like what I see on that end. Of course, the coach is doing some recruiting. I see you got another.
He got a guard the other day from VCU, I think it was.
Right, a top recruit come in from in-state as well. Come in and out of state and come in as well. Okay,
because I know it was a guard from VCU that he signed, and they were acquainted with one another from their shared time in the Mond.
That's right. So I'm excited about what they have going on as well for the basketball team. So yeah, this is, we're getting ready to go into what we call the doldrums of sports, where baseball. I love baseball. Speaking of that, I got my camp this Saturday, the 25th, at the Henrico Sporting Complex, for youth ages 5 to 15. The baseball camp. You're gonna come on out, folks, and hang out. Shout out to Amy for helping support as well. Donated some balls to us, so it was great. But yeah, let's see how this all shakes out, everybody. I think we may have some weeks off here and there when it comes to some sporting events, but this spring game, we're gonna have to hold on until the fall comes, and basketball as well. They may have some news here and there when it comes to players committing, and hopefully no injuries. Didn't look like there were any major injuries as well. So that's something that we're all excited about, that everybody came out semi-healthy from that game. And, UVA sports is having one of the most successful years of all time, with the amount of wins that all the programs are having, and we're in what we call a golden era of sports for the program, where you have a lot of the programs that are having a lot of wins,
Yeah. Softball's been ranked all year, I think. Pretty
Right.
much been ranked all year. So which is still sort of new.
That's right. But yeah, so AB,
Yo.
what do you what would you like to add? Because I know that we're we talked about the football, basketball, and I know that baseball they're kind of mediocre there. Anything you'd like to add on any of that, Ed or AB?
Draft is tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah, we got the NFL draft, and we can integrate some of that as well, like we did before. Anything you're looking forward to in the draft coming up tomorrow, or 2 nights? We got 2 nights.
Yeah, I mean, our Commanders need to get their crap together and get some. Well, I think we need a really good wide receiver, and I think we need some offensive line. So I mean,
a running back.
Well, that.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh, that could come to us.
I've been hearing a name, and if they pass on this kid, they're out of their minds.
You talking about Love?
Yes. That kid's scary good.
Yeah. I'll be doing a draft show. Actually, I'll be doing 2 draft shows. I'll be doing one for the NFL Draft Bible on Thursday night live, and then I'll be doing on Friday evening. I'll be doing a radio spot down here.
Day 2.
On one of the I'll be talking about the draft, but
okay.
And then the next day I got to go up for my camp, but I'm excited for it all. We'll see how it goes, how it shakes out. But yeah, but I think with that being said, I think we kind of covered all the bases.
Where's Wood tonight?
Huh?
Where's Wood tonight?
I'm not sure. I think Wood probably is a.
I was really looking forward to hearing how they had their Super Bowl kicker locked up for years and years now.
Oh, you talking about what, for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Whatever the kid's name is, apparently he's very good, but he's also he likes to hit people, which I'm not sure if it's a good thing for a kicker or not. He goes down and breaks a collarbone or separates a shoulder. That's some real Tony Romo stuff there.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward for this game or for this draft coming up tomorrow to see who goes where, and there's going to be a lot of hoopla. This is what we call lying season in the it's everybody's espionage.
You don't tell your mother anything. It's hilarious.
And if you do, you're lying to her. So
yeah, and don't lie to your mama.
Right.
Do not lie to your mama. I think the only ones not lying are probably the Raiders.
Right.
I mean, if they don't take Mendoza, there's going to be a riot.
Yeah. I mean, that kid,
he reminds me of. Kirk Cousins. I thought that was a genius move, but this kid reminds me of Rich Gannon.
Okay.
Not the big arm, not like Marino or Elway, not the big arm, but accurate, smart.
He's accurate. I mean, that's Kirk Cousins to me. Accurate and very just almost genius level intellect, just smart guy.
Yeah,
You know,
I like that.
Yeah. Yep. But we'll see how it shakes out, everybody. Anything that you'd like to say in closing, Ed?
No, I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered tonight. Wow, 45 minutes?
Went fast, didn't it?
Are you sure we covered everything?
I think we did. Yeah.
In 45 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Quickest show to date.
Something. Y'all best get yourselves right with God, because something's going to happen.
No, we got
maybe it's another false spring. I don't know.
Yeah, it could have something to do with that. Anything you like to say, be in closing?
Hey, just go Who's and actually go Celtics, even though we're about to lose. So, womp.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that game goes too. I'm looking forward to it.
One of my best friends in high school was a Celtics fan.
Ew.
He was an okay dude. Otherwise, everybody has that one flaw.
Yeah, that's true.
I was a Lakers fan, so we would just go at each other.
So what are we talking about? I'm a Celtics fan, so what are we talking about?
Yeah, a lot of my friends are Cowboys fans too, and I can't blame. I can't. I'm not gonna hold it against them like that. That wouldn't be nice.
I don't know.
But
that's kind of a character issue, Law.
Yeah, I know. Shout out to Uncle Steve. He's watching today. Hey, buddy, I hope you're enjoying the show today. And I got to thank all of you for hanging out and spending some time with us. But as of now, the shop is closed. Thank you guys for hanging out, and we will be back at you next week.